Hey guys and gals, today I'm going to show you something very cool. If you are an Active Campaign user, I'm going to show you how you can integrate a ClickFunnels form with your Active Campaign. But more than that, I'm going to show you how you can include custom fields so you can add questions like, do you already have a ClickFunnels account, yes or no? That information will be passed over to your Active Campaign account so you can segment your mailing automations. For example, if someone has a ClickFunnels account, maybe you want to sell them a ClickFunnels course. If they don't, maybe you want to sell them on ClickFunnels. So that allows you to add that information to your contact information in ActiveCampaign, and then you can set different sequences of emails based on how they answer. ActiveCampaign is one of the best autoresponders on the market. So I hope you guys like this video. And before we start, click the subscribe button, hit the like, and you can follow along for more tutorials like this in the future. If you're not familiar with ActiveCampaign, it's one of the top autoresponders on the market. So basically, if you're looking to handle newsletters or when someone opts into a forum and you want to send them a sequence of emails, it's one of the most powerful services out there, ActiveCampaign, and I've used it for a couple years now, and I'm going to show you guys how to do everything. So there's a couple ways to do it. Before we get started, I'm going to explain to you which way we're going to do it today. We're going to use the HTML integration. ActiveCampaign does have a direct API integration with ClickFunnels, but it's a little limited in that it only handles certain fields. So if you wanted to ask a custom question to somebody, for example, do you already have a ClickFunnels account, yes or no, you can't do that with ActiveCampaign or with the API integration and send that to your ActiveCampaign account. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And if you look at the ClickFunnels documents, they actually have a page which shows you the email integrations, which fields you can use. So with ActiveCampaign here, I'm going to highlight these so you can see them better. The ClickFunnels fields that you can pass along using the API for ActiveCampaign is full name, first name, last name, email, phone, address, city, state, and country. What that means is if you want any other fields or any other information to come from your ClickFunnels and populate it into your ActiveCampaign contact information, it will not work with the API. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the ClickFunnels account settings. In the upper right here, hover over your icon up here, click account settings, and you'll want to make sure you have an HTML integration already set up. They only recommend having one, so I'm not going to actually set it up, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So if you go to integrations here on the left menu, you'll see the integrations that you have, and you want to look and see if you have an HTML form integration already added. I've got two. They only recommend one, so I'm not going to add another one, but I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. It's super easy. Go up here and click Add New Integration. And you want to scroll down to HTML form. Give it a name. You can see I got a message up here that says you already have one. You can edit it if you prefer, and then here it says you should only have one. So I'm not going to finalize this, but all you would need to do is give it a name and click Add Integration, and you're good to go. So if you don't have one already set up, do this to get started, and we'll use that later. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our forms. So I have a basic form here that just has name and email. You could integrate those directly with the API, but I want to add some additional information here. I want to add a couple questions, and I'm going to add 3 different fields just to show you guys how to do them all. So first I'm going to add an element which is going to be a subheadline, what I'm going to use for my label. And I'm going to change the color to white so you can read it. I'm going to make it a little smaller, and I'm going to make it left aligned. Alright, I'm going to bring that up a little bit closer. We don't need that much space. Next I'm going to add a drop down field which is going to say yes or no. So I want people to just select from those 2 options. So if you go to forms here, and we're going to go select box, click on that. I'm going to change the top margin to 5 so that it's very close to the label so people know. And then for the input names, it's going to be lowercase just like they have here. And if you need to use a separator, use a dash or an underscore. So I'm going to say CF account. And we're going to set this to custom options. And then it will show your values here. So for the first value, I'm going to say yes. That's going to be in lowercase. And then the text is how people are going to see it on the front end when they open the form. So you want that to be spelled however you want people to see it. Second option is going to be no. And then a capital N-O. And this one I'm going to make required. So people have to fill that out. And that's it. So we're going to duplicate our label. We're going to do 2 more forms here. So I'm just going to duplicate this twice. And then the next one is going to be, I'm going to move that down here. And this is going to be just a standard field. And it's going to say, who referred you? So if yes, who referred you? And then I'm going to add a standard input. Again, I'm going to change that to 5. Input type is going to be a custom type since we're asking a specific question. And then for the custom type, I'm going to say referred by. And again, that's all lowercase. And you can use a placeholder here, which will change the text that shows in the field. So if you don't want to use a label, you don't need to. I like to do both in this case. So I'm going to say name of person who referred you. And I'm going to make this required also. And we're going to do one more, which is going to be move that down here. And I'm going to do a text field, which is going to allow people to enter freely whatever they want it to say. So the question here is going to be, what's your biggest challenge using ClickFunnels? And the element is going to be a text area. And we're going to make that 5 again. That's also a custom type. And the custom type is big challenge, just what we're going to call it. And the text info is what's your biggest challenge. I'm going to make this required. And for this one, I'm going to go to the advanced. I'm actually going to make it a little taller. I'm going to make it 150 just so that it stands out a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to save that. And we're going to jump over to Active Campaign and build out our form that we can use to match this here. So in Active Campaign, this is the dashboard. This is where you land when you log in, and you can customize this view. We're going to go to Forms, and we're going to customize our fields. We're going to add some new custom fields so that we can sync them up and get that information. And so we're going to select Manage Fields here on the left. And you can see I've got a bunch of fields here already. These are all default: first name, last name, email, phone. So we don't need to create the name and email. I'm going to toggle this closed, and you see I've got some other groups here. So just to keep it organized, I'm going to add a new group, and I'm going to call it CFAC Integration. And this will be my new group where I'll add my new fields. So you can see I've got that there, and it's empty. Now I'm going to add a new field, and the new field is going to be called CF Account. And that's going to be the one that says, do you already have a ClickFunnels account, yes or no? So we're going to add that to the CFAC integration group. You can change that. If you miss later, you can reassign it. And for the field type, in a ClickFunnels, it's a drop-down box, which is going to give us a yes or no. It's very important here that you don't select drop-down. You have to leave these to text input or it will not pass the data. So we want to leave it as text input. We're going to add. And we've got 2 more fields to add. So the next one is going to be referred by. And these aren't really showing anywhere, so I try not to use the question marks and different characters and things like that. Just keep it simple. You can experiment and see what works for you. And again, we're going to add that to our group, and we're going to leave that as a text input also. And we're going to do one more for our paragraph field. and that's going to be big challenge. And that's going to also go to CFAC integration, text input, and we are going to just add that. So you can see we've got our 3 fields here. The next thing we need to do is create a new form. So up in the top right, we're going to create a form. It's just going to be, it doesn't really matter here, we're just getting the code. You can set your actions here, which you do want to do, and you can also do those later. So we want them to subscribe to a list, and then you select your list here. So we're going to say ClickFunnels test list. We're going to create. You can add different actions too, so if you wanted to tag them. For the name, it's going to be CFAC integration form. We'll leave it at that. Create. And it's creating our form, so we can go in and edit it. And so we've already got name and email, so we're good to go there. I'm going to add some additional fields here, which is going to be, if you go down here to fields, we have a few fields here. Show more fields. So the fields we have here are CF account, and that's the drop down yes or no, the referred by, and the big challenge. So we've got those. Next thing we want to do is we want to go to options, and on submit we're going to open the URL. Now we have to jump back to ClickFunnels, and we need to get the URL of our thank you page, but actually I'm going to come back and do that later. So just remember that we have to do that. We've already got our forms here, and we're good to go here. So open URL, we're going to add our URL here. We're going to save that. I take this checkbox off, allow blank fields to override existing field data. So if a field is blank, it's going to overwrite that. And the other thing I'd like to do is click this little gear icon here, and you want to make sure it's not set to double opt-in unless you want to do that. I don't use it. Double opt-in means they're going to get a second email which they have to confirm to opt-in. So I turn that off, save, and then we're going to integrate this. Again, we'll come back later and add the URL when we're finished. But for now, we're going to save this. You just tab in there and then press Control-C to copy. And we're going to open up my text editor. I use Sublime Text. You're going to want to use some type of editor to do this. And I just paste everything in here. Now, we don't need everything here. We're only going to need within the form tags. So if you come past the CSS here, you've got this form tag here. We're going to copy all of this to here. You're going to copy that, and we're going to go back into ClickFunnels, and this is where we're going to set our integrations. So one thing we want to check is the button. We want to make sure we set the action to go to submit order, submit form, and that's going to take you to the next step in the funnel. Then we're going to go up to settings, integrations, and nothing's connected now, but we're going to connect our HTML form integration. And to select an integration, we're going to integrate existing form, add HTML below. And then here's where we're going to paste our HTML code. We're going to parse and save the web form. And now you see all these fields show up here. We just have to make sure we're matching these to the correct fields. So first name is going to be first name. Full name is going to be first name. Email is going to be email, of course. And then these are the order that we entered them. So this one's going to be, do you already have a ClickFunnels account? This one's going to be who referred you, and this one's going to be the big challenge. The next thing we want to do is we want to copy this link here, and that's where we're going to go back into Active Campaign, and we can just save this form now. Then we're going to go back to here. We're going to go back to edit form in Active Campaign, and under options we're going to open URL, and we're going to paste our URL there. So what that's doing is that's telling Active Campaign when somebody submits this form, it's going to take them to the next page in our funnel. We're going to integrate that, and we want to make sure we save and exit. We're going to go back to ClickFunnels. We save the page again, and I'm going to preview the page. So you see I've got the information filled out here. for the email, you can actually add a plus before the @ symbol, and then you can customize your email with some additional information to make it appear as if it's a unique, just for testing. So I'm going to do today's date, which is 01/05/2020. And do I have a ClickFunnels account? I'm going to say yes. And who referred me? I'm going to say Tony. And what's your biggest challenge? And I'm going to say learning the tech stuff. And then I'm going to click the button, and it should take me to my thank you page. We've got success there. So now let's go back to our list in Active Campaign, and let's see if that information came over. We see we have one active contact there, and if we click on the contact, which is 2020-01/05, it's one I just filled out, so far so good. I haven't set up any tags or anything. That's a different topic, but you can see here we've got our general details. So we've got name and email, and then down here under CF/AC integration, do you already have a CF account? Yes. Who referred you? Tony. And the big challenge, learning the tech stuff. So that's really awesome. So I'm going to show you why this is so powerful. We're going to head over to the automations tab and just show you a very quick example. I'm not going to get into automations, but just to show you what this is, what this would be used for. So if we're going to basically start a trigger, we're going to say if the person subscribes to a list and they subscribe to our ClickFunnels test list, then we're going to segment them, and we have a condition here which is going to be custom contact fields. So if, let's say, do you already have a ClickFunnels account, is yes, then we can send them a certain sequence of emails. So we're going to create an email here that says if they do have an account, we're going to do this. If not, then we're going to, if they already have a ClickFunnels account, is no. So, and I'm going to remove that from this one here. Okay, so basically if they subscribe to our ClickFunnels test list, and then it asks the question, do you already have a ClickFunnels account? If they say yes, then you can send them an email. Maybe you want to sell them on a course or something like that, so you can start them in those email sequences. If they say no, you want to get them to sign up for a ClickFunnels account, so you might start sending them more emails about that. You might send them some free offers, things like that. So that's where you get the power of segmentation. And by being able to ask these questions on your ClickFunnels form and then send it to your Active Campaign account, now you can segment your audience based on how they answer, so it allows you to send really targeted emails to those people. So I hope that helps. I'm going to have a link to Active Campaign as well as ClickFunnels down below. And if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And we'll be bringing more cool stuff to you like this. So thanks a lot, you guys. Take care, and I will talk to you soon.